Hey, how you guys doing out there today? This is Stephanie Jimenez from the Roto Beast team, and I'm here to present you our NBA picks for Tuesday, December 5th. If you're new to our channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NFL and NBA videos. And please make sure and click the like button on our video as we greatly appreciate it. So, I'm going to tell you real quick, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. At the end of this video, since it's a short slate, I'm going to have a couple extra minutes. I'm going to kind of review my cash game lineup tonight. I just missed by about 5 points, and I'm going to go over it and kind of give you my breakdown of what I take away from it so I can learn what I did wrong or what I could have did better to not make the same mistake again, just because constantly stay in the green. So let's get into the slate real quick. We got 3 games. We got Phoenix at Toronto. This game has the highest implied total of 224. Toronto's favored by 13. This is a major pace-up game for the Toronto Raptors as well. I just want to mention that. Then we got Washington at Portland. This has a 203 implied total, and Portland's favored by 5.5. Washington is really struggling right now without Wall, so you know, we'll get into that, all right. And then real quick, we got the last game. It's Utah at OKC. This game, it doesn't have a line out yet, but I will mention this is definitely a pace down game for OKC. So let's get into the players. We'll start with Westbrook. It's probably going to be chalk. I mean, he's not even 11,000. I mean, his price is really good. This is a pace down game going against the Jazz. Gobert's back makes him a much better defensive team, but Westbrook is Westbrook, and he's going to get his. He's got only 45 the past 2 games. You definitely want to see a little bit more at a 10.7 price tag. We're asking for at least about 53 to 54, but this isn't going to kill us, and he does have the major upside. This is Westbrook. I like him tomorrow. He is probably going to be chalk, especially for cash games. Then we got Damian Lillard. Hey, Dame Dollar. Hey, he's a baller. His minutes are crazy. He's getting max minutes. He's constantly getting us into the 40s. He's averaging 43 fantasy points a game pretty much this season. At a 9.1 price tag, we need about 45 from him. So I like him in this spot. In the up-tempo game against the Wizards without John Wall, they're struggling right now. I think he's a really, really good play. We got Lowry going against Phoenix. They play no defense. The fastest paced team in the league. I like him a lot. He's going to be going against Ulis. Starting off the game, he's not the best defender. Lowry, he's in a good spot against the Suns. The only problem with this game is I think it could turn into a blowout, and Lowry and DeRozan may not get there. But hey, this is a real good matchup for them, and I like both of them. Last guy I'm really going to talk about, point guard, is Rubio. I don't like Rubio. His minutes haven't been the best. He does fill up the stat sheet, but look, 0. That's horrible. I don't expect him to get 0. He's gonna get some kind of points, but if he's gonna get his, double digits at least, he's gonna get his assists and his rebounds. I like him, but the minutes aren't there, and now Gobert's back, and they're trying to fit people in the lineup, and they got Mitchell playing point guard, which is really taken away from Rubio. But on a small slate, we got to look somewhere, and he is the starter. But another thing I don't like about him is he's going to be going against Westbrook, who's a decent defender. But hey, price tag's there, and he has upside. I think he is a little bit more of a GPP play, but I could understand why you are playing him in cash. There isn't nobody else you could really go to. James, no. Frazier, no. Van Fleet's decent. Ulis is a starter, but he doesn't do much scoring. So yeah, that's kind of point guard. You got to probably pay up today. Shooting guard, we got DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, hey, he's a baller. He's going in an up-tempo game, going against Toronto, against Devin Booker, who's a great scorer, but he's not the best, defender. DeRozan's coming off 2 games where he's only played 35 and 33, but yet he's still got at least 43 fantasy points. The guys, hey, he's been on fire the past couple games. I expect him to have a really good game against the Suns in the up-tempo game. For his price tag, you need about, what? About 42, I would say, and that's kind of where he's been at. He's averaging 37 a game this season, so I think he's a really really good play going against the Phoenix. Like I said, the only problem with him and Lowry is it could be a blowout and their minutes could get limited. But hey, he's in a good spot. Then we got Bradley Beal. I'm gonna say this: he's more of a GPP player right now. He's struggling. He's playing, but he's struggling. The minutes are up and down. Without Wall, I expected so much more, and he hasn't been doing it. So but he has the upside. He's averaging 35 fantasy points a game this season. So I think he is a GPP play, but I do like him. We got Booker coming off one of the best games of his career. He was playing massive minutes the past couple games. The past few games, 46 points and 38 points, actual real life scoring points. He's getting some rebounds, getting some assists, a little bit of defensive stats. 47 and 63. If he's gonna, and then a couple games ago he got a 51. So in his past 4 games, he's got at least 47, 3 out of the 4. The guy's just balling right now. Going against Toronto, DeMar DeRozan, he isn't the best defender. He's a scorer just like Booker. It's probably going to be a back and forth game with him. He is on a back-to-back, but he's a young guy. 35 for him to hit value. I think he's a really, really good play tomorrow. I think you definitely lock him in your cash games. I like Devin Booker a lot tomorrow. We got McCollough. Dude's been up and down, but he's getting the minutes. He's just not. His shots been all right. We're used to him scoring at least 21, real life points, and he scored 12, 15, and 17, a 5. So, he's been struggling a little bit from the field, but hey, the minutes are there, and he does get some rebounds, he does get his assists, so it's all about his shot, and his price is very fair. For him to hit value, you need about 32. He's been getting very close, especially in the past 5. 24 is a solid, I would say. Not solid. You would want a lot more, but 24.4 on a 6.7 price tag is not going to absolutely crush you. He's missing value by about 8. If you have other players pick it up, but small slate, a pretty consistent player, like McCollum. Last guy I'm gonna quickly talk about, Burks. If Hood's out again, he's of a GPP play against the Thunder, in my opinion, because the Thunder, they're a really good defensive team. But the past 3 games he's going off. 28 points, 24, 27 real life points. The shots going down. 50.9, 38, 41. Come on. He's doing work. So, I think he's a really good GPP play tomorrow. I just don't think the matchup is the best. But, hey, we'll see how it goes. So, let's move on to small forward real quick. Paul George, 8.6 for him to hit value. You need about 42, 43. He had a bad game against San Antonio. You could expect it. They're a really good defensive team. But before that, he's been very consistent. 61, 37, 35, 39, 51, 51, 41. He's averaging 39 fantasy points a game this season at 8.6 price tag. We need about 43. And I think he could definitely get there. But the Jazz are a slow-paced team, so the Thunder, they do scare me a little bit, all the players. But, on a 3-game slate, we can't be too picky. He's been consistent. That's what we're looking for in fantasy. So you got to like Paul George. The minutes are definitely there. Then we got Otto Porter going against Portland. This is going to be a pretty good game. Otto Porter, he's been playing very well this season. He's averaging 32 fantasy points a game. 7,000 price tag, I think, is very fair on him. You need about 35 for him to have value. I definitely think he can get there. I like Otto Porter. He's been getting more shots since John Wall's out as well. The shots haven't really been going down, but they're there. He has 50-point upside. He's shown that a couple times already this season. So definitely take a look at John Wall. I'm sorry, at Otto Porter. TJ Warren, he's like the second or third option for Phoenix. He's getting the minutes. He's getting the shots. He's been scoring pretty good. He has at least 19 points in 3 of the past 4. And he has upside. I mean, he's shown us 40 upside plenty of times this season. In the past 4 games, he's got at least 39 3 out of the past 4. More solid tomorrow. Then we got. I'm gonna talk about a cheap guy real quick. I mean, this guy. I mean, he's not the best. I don't love the play, but he needs 16 for him to hit value. And I mean, he's a guy that he can get some work. For a cheap price tag, I just like him. Going against Phoenix, this could be a blowout, and they could put all their young guys in. I can see him getting a little bit more run. I just like the price tag. It's cheap. And so I like him as well. He's a solid play. And then one guy I'll mention really quick. I'm not going to go into detail. I don't really like him too much just because he's in a bad matchup going against Paul George. But Ingles, the guy, I mean, he's getting some solid minutes for the most part. He's averaging about 32 minutes a game this season. They're gonna need some scoring against the Thunder. But I think he's more of a GPP play. But I'm just throwing him out there, just somebody else kind of looking at a little bit. Another guy I was looking at a little bit on shooting guard, GPP only, just because the matchup isn't best going against Roberson. But Mitchell, I mean, the guy has upside. He's been putting in work. But the Jazz team, it's going to be weird a little bit since Gobert is back. They're kind of like, um, everybody's going to go down a little bit. It showed it today. Gobert's back. Favors, I like him tomorrow. Going against the Thunder and KarlAnthony, who isn't the best defender. I think he could do work against them. But just like, look at it. Gobert came back today. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know the exact reason why. But he only got 24 minutes today. They didn't need him to play as much at center today. And, they've been lacking the rotation, so that's why I feel like he probably got a little bit of minutes buzzed off. So at 7,000 price tag, we need 35. I mean, he's been playing it off regularly, but just remember that was without Gobert. We got Carmelo. I mean, Carmelo has a chance to go off any night. He showed us 40-point upside this year, but I mean, he's been struggling a little bit lately in a defensive matchup against the Jazz. I mean, I don't think he's the best player. I don't really like the price tag, but I mean, this position is really, really, really shallow. We're gonna have to play somebody, so I'm just gonna mention him, a former All-Star, averaging 31 fantasy points a game. Ibaka. This is a guy I do like. The minutes haven't been there, which kind of pissing me off. But I mean, he's been in the 20s consistently. 5.2 price tag. We need about 20, 25 from him, 26 max. I mean, I think he's going to get you very close. I mean, he's a consistent guy. He gets his defensive stats. He's averaging 12 points a game. So I think he's probably a cash game play tomorrow. And we got Chris. The minutes are all over the place. He's playing in the past 4, about 22 minutes. I mean, he's all over the place. 3.9 for him to value. You need about 17. He's got that 3 of the past 5. This is a really, really shallow position. So I have to mention him. And one guy I will mention else too, Vonleh. I mean, position shallow. I mean, he's getting minutes for the most part. I like him. He's averaging 17.7 fantasy points a game. This is off the bench. So, like I said, a shallow position. He's somebody that you could definitely look at. Going against the Wizards in an up-tempo game. We'll quickly round it off. You got Gobert. He's going to be going back and forth with Adams. Gobert, today came back. 8,000, you need 40. I don't think he's going to get there tomorrow. And they may even sit him on, since it was first game back. I don't know, since I do this the night before. But, I mean, I'm not really feeling Gobert, to be honest with you. I don't think he's going to get to value. But a guy I do like is Nurkic. Going against Washington, an up-tempo game. Nurkic has upside. He's shown us 45, 65. I mean, he has the upside, but, I mean, it's just what he does sometimes. He decides he wants to play, sometimes he doesn't. A 7.4 price tag, we need about 37 from him. He can definitely get there. I mean, it's fair. I think you could probably play him in cash. Gobert, isn't the best matchup, but on a shallow position, I do like Nurkic. Then you got Adams on the other side of the ball going against Gobert. Adams has shown us upside multiple times this year. He's averaging 30 fantasy points a game, but he's going to be going against Gobert. And one of them is going to get in foul trouble. And I don't know who it's going to be, but 6.9 price tag. I think he's definitely more of a GPP play. I do like Nurkic a lot at center. Then we'll talk about Valanciunas' up-tempo game against Phoenix. The guy's shown us, before that he does have upside. As price tag of 4.9, we need about 25. In the past 3 games, he got that pretty much 2 of the past 3. He does work. And this is up tempo game. He can get some extra points. Running up and down the floor, get some easy baskets. Lastly, we'll talk about Gortat. I like this guy. I talk about him all the time. His price is only 4.7. It's fair. The minutes have been down. That's the problem with him. But it's because he hasn't really been scoring too much. He's averaging overall in the season about 10 points a game, 9 rebounds for 25 fantasy points. His price tag 25 is very, very fair. And I like him tomorrow. I do like him against Portland. And, this game is going to be back and forth. I think the Wizards, they didn't have a very good day today against Utah. So I could definitely see them bouncing back tomorrow. They're a really good team. Hey, so that's kind of where I'm at. For my video. Honestly, I'm not really going to pick players just because this is a tough slate. And the core is really, really tough. To be completely honest with you. But I'm going to want to review my tonight. So this was tonight. I really like my lineup. I went pretty deep on it. So, let me talk about what happened. I missed cash by about 5 points. And this has been happening to me over and over, probably about the past 10 days. And, it's frustrating me. But let me show you, like just because you lose doesn't mean you weren't, on it, We got Curry. 9.9, I played him, right? 20% owned in cash. That's cool. You want low owned people because you want a chance to win, but you want them to be consistent. If you can see, all my people, for the most part, were low owned. Cantor, 34, 8, 10, 2%, 9, 6, 29, 10, and 20. This isn't cash, okay? The problem was the chalk went off, but I still could have won. It wasn't a problem. Curry, 9.9. You need to hit 50 for value, or about 49.5 revenue value. So pretty much he went over value by 5 points. Boom, you're set. Bledsoe. This is one I was like, he could have had a better game. He just didn't fill up the stat sheets the way he normally does in a slower paced game against Boston, who's a really good defensive team. I needed 35. He got me 27, so it was respectable. He missed by 8. All right, boom. But Curry, he went over value by 5. So he missed by 8, but he went over value by 5. So that's a 3 points. Pretty much I missed value at my point guard position. Boom. That's all right. I could deal with that. Then we go to shooting guard. 5.5 from Batum. You needed 27.5. He got you 34.7. So he hit value by extra 6.5, almost 6 times value. You put that right here, boom. My point guard position is covered, and you got 4 or 5 extra points. You got Clay, though, so you got 5 points right here extra after he covered his value. Then you got Clay, 30. We needed 35. The extra 5 goes right here. So, boom. Values hit between these if you spread it all out. We're good. Bogdanovich, 4.5. For him to hit value, we needed about 22. He went over value by 5. Prince, for him to hit value, we need about 28. He missed it by 8. So in our small forward position, we're down -3, right? Boom. Draymond, 56. At his price tag, you needed 40. So he got overvalued by 16. Okay? So now we're down by 5 right here. You take 16, we got 11. So we're up value by 11. Plus, we got Young, who young. For him to hit value, we needed about 28. He hit value by 4. So we got 11 plus 28, okay? Extra. So then we put that on Cantor. Boom. Cantor, he was supposed to get me sorry, I had to cough. He was supposed to give me 32. He got me 15. These dudes pretty much covered value for him. But the problem is, Cantor, he didn't even get me 0 points the second half. So I can't be mad at this lineup. I wasn't disappointed in this lineup. I mean, more than anything, I was disappointed Cantor got me 0 the second half. This is what blowouts does to you. If not, Thaddeus Young would have even got more. Bogdanovich would have even got more in this game. And I would have been fine. So the process was good. I mean, I just showed you this lineup just because I want you to understand, like, just because you lose doesn't mean your lineup is bad. You know, everybody pretty much hit value and covered tonight, but the chalk went off. And when the chalk goes off and your couple guys just don't hit value, even if it's barely, you're going to be screwed. And so, you know, I just don't want you to get discouraged if you do lose. You know, just stick with your process and just go about your business. So, hey, if you have any questions or you want to talk about kind of like my lineup and how I built it and how you can improve, hit me up, hey, in the comment section. And, hey, let's get it tomorrow. Have a good one.